Woohoo! Welcome, welcome, welcome! Yay! Journeying through. I'm so excited. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I was thinking Thanksgiving for a moment. What in the world was I thinking? I'm just zooming through the year. Welcome to everyone to Journeying Through. Oh my goodness, what an amazing last 2 weeks it has been. Holy cow, wow. Let's get started. Casting a circle of light, specifying that only Source Creator God, my healing team, and support teams as necessary, as needed, be present for tonight's journeying through a world made new, a book discussion and a healing circle, a St. Patrick's Day edition, I've been saying, the Shamrock edition of the healing circle and the book discussion. I'm so excited. So may it be with a blessing, blessing, blessing that we enjoy ourselves first, that we get to be in community second, and that we get to come together and remember just how powerful we are, just how worthy we are, just how amazing each and every one of us are in truth. So, let's have some more blessings, blessings, blessings. Lots of green sparks coming in just to keep the theme going. And with that, we say amen and aho. So happy St. Patrick's Day. If you have a bit of Irish blood in you, wishing you lots of love and joy. If you have no Irish blood in you, I'm wishing you lots of love and joy. And this is going to be a really fun evening. I had a couple people text me and say, oh, I haven't read. I don't know if I can make it. And I'm just like, don't worry about it. I don't know if I have read some days. Like, over the weekend, I did a little bit of that, like, oh my God, have I actually read the newest information? Am I really up to date? And I had to keep reminding myself, sit down and read the pages. And we are talking about the bottom of page 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. I don't know. How far do we go? 33. Yeah, Terry, right? You read it and then you don't necessarily remember it. Listen, before I got on tonight, I was like, oh, that's right. I left my water bottle in the fridge out in the garage. Let me go out into the garage. And I was out in the garage and I was like, oh, let me grab that paint. Oh, let me rearrange this. Oh, let me do that. And I came back inside and I was like, oh crap, I went outside to get my water bottle and I didn't even get it. So if you didn't read, totally okay. We're going to have a discussion. The beautiful part to this whole conversation that we're having is that you don't actually need to read it in order to absorb it, in order to get whatever you need to get out of the book. So, the person who is labeled as iPhone, it would be really awesome if you told me who you were, because I can take a guess at how many people have iPhones, a lot. And it is okay if you don't have the book. Totally. Amanda, yes, you don't have to have the book. You do not have to have the book at all. Not a requirement. I know, it's the most bizarre book club that you've ever been to. But I have to tell you that I have been to a lot of book clubs and have not had to read the book. Totally okay. Totally, totally, totally. So no worries about that. How are you all doing? How about we start with that? How is everybody doing? We had a full moon on Friday morning, 2 something a.m., along with a lunar eclipse. That means there was a lot of power. There was a lot of transformation going on this weekend. And we have a violet flame for those of you who connect with that. That is violet is a transformation frequency, and you can just keep, surrendering stuff like, oh, I feel bad that I didn't read. I feel bad I don't have the book. I feel bad that it's Monday. Whatever. Just keep surrendering whatever it is you want. If you want to put it in the chat, you are welcome to. And if you don't want to put it in the chat, you don't even want to admit it, that's okay too. Totally all right. And Terry, I went to a lot of classes in college where I did not have the book. I didn't necessarily read the book. And fortunately for me, I met David, my husband, in college. I think I was like a sophomore. Wow, he'd be really upset that I can't remember that at the moment. But once I got together with him, he kind of kept me on the straight and narrow, and my grades improved, and I actually, graduated college and did well. Thank you, Jesus, for all that. Totally okay. Jill, I'm so glad you brought up about, your body hurts, your throat hurts, you're coughing, like blah, blah, blah. Yes, there is a lot going on. Oh my goodness. And we're happy to give everybody a healing on the places where you feel like you're falling apart, because there is a lot going on. It's the part about what I do that people don't always get, they don't always understand. When I say, oh yeah, I do healings for people, they're like, healings? Like, what does that mean? And more people are starting to understand that, we can pull things from the field out in front of us, and we can, move our hands and transform more of whatever our aches and pains are. But it's okay. I'm glad you brought that to the circle tonight. So we are at the bottom of page 28. Ta-da! We're going to finish the introduction. 3 days of introduction. Here's the piece I want you to know. Don't need to know many things about this book. Know what the upper room is. If you decide that you want to do more of Paul Selig's work, you want to read more of his books, you want to listen to, the recordings and things, they talk a lot about the upper room. Here is a really simple explanation of the upper room. The upper room is a place of Christ consciousness energy, where you know no fear, you know your oneness and your union with all beings and the light. Okay, Bonnie, if you say so. The upper room is a place of Christ consciousness energy. So Christ consciousness energy, that's the piece about people who talk about the second coming of Christ. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about the second coming of the Christ consciousness energy. Not everybody sees it that way. Not everybody speaks about it that way. But what Christ conscious energy is we call it the forgiveness frequency. The forgiveness frequency. And it is an electric blue. I'm looking around to see if I have anything that's electric blue. It is electric blue in color, and we call it the forgiveness frequency, but in truth, there's never anything to forgive. There's nothing that Source Creator God is forgiving you for, because everything that happens is divinely perfect and divinely planned for your growth and evolution. But it's the piece that we can all understand. We can all go like, okay, I understand what forgiveness is. So the upper room is a place where that forgiveness frequency exists, and you know no fear. You know that you're one with everything in the cosmoses, and you know that you're one with Source. Now, how is that for a description? Here's the healing. Everybody who's like, I'm not sure I have any fear. I'm not sure that I can say I, walk around with no fear. If you're like me, I have oodles and oodles and oodles of fear. And it can show up in a lot of different ways. My fear shows up a lot in my sternum. So if you have an idea of something that you're afraid of something that gives you anxiety, of something that just freaks you out, if you want, you can put it in the chat and we'll help you with that. But if you're like, I'm not exactly sure what it is, or I'm not exactly sure that I want to talk about it, that's okay too, because you don't have to have a conversation about energy. It can just be transformed. And Janelyn, there's no way that you have all the fear, because I have some, and I'm sure everybody else here has some, so you can't have it all. You cannot have it all, but we can move more of it. Yep. Cricket, we are happy to help you with that fear of losing your vision. I've had a lot of eye things going on recently, and I actually have at least 5 pairs of glasses. And so I do this really funny thing where I'm like, oh, it must be these glasses. So let me take these off. I had my clear ones with black bands on earlier, and I was like, oh, well, these have been like really, my eyes have been really funky. So let me put my other glasses on, because that'll help. Now, that is what I would call atheist energy, that belief that energy isn't real, that I need to doubt something, that it's something out there that is creating a challenge or a problem. And in truth, there's a lot of transformation happening in our eyes, happening in our throats, happening in our brains. Lots of transformation going on. That's what's happening out there in the world. We're all going through transformation. Cool thing is, they mention it over and over again in our book. I think that's really cool. So, happy to help wherever you have some fear that you're ready to just, I don't need this anymore. Let me just give that up. Okay, here's one cool comment about the book. I just think this is cool. There are levels to the upper room, some of which don't demand form. What does that mean? It means the souls are not in form, they're not in bodies. And there are levels that exist beyond the upper room where the idea of form is merely a memory. There are souls that have never incarnated in a body and have no memory of ever incarnating in a body. That's what they're talking about. You don't need to incarnate in a body anymore because you've learned everything that you need. How cool is that? There are a few of those beings around. Source, right? Source has never come into a body. Source as source. Source is, I am part of source. Jill is part of source. Terry is part of source. Everybody on the planet is part of source. But source hasn't come in a body. Here's what we're doing tonight. Here's what you want. You say yes to what you can manage, and you agree to what you can hold. So everybody just say, yes, 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 yes. I'm saying yes to any transformation that's going to happen, and I'm going to go, yay. It's all good. Jill, we are going to help you with that fear. You're going to die before meeting your next romantic agreement and fall in love again. That's an awesome one. An awesome, awesome one to heal. Awesome, awesome one. Awesome, awesome. Where is that? There's a lot of that in your frontal lobe and a lot of that in your third eye. If you're like me, I was like, third eye, are you kidding me? Do you really think that's real? It's real. Third eye, it's a piece of spiritual anatomy. It's all perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I have lots of fears. Is there anybody here who really likes to pick paint colors? That picking paint colors is like their favorite thing to do? I promise I won't call you and put you on Zoom and go, okay, what do you think I should do here? That's one of my fears. Picking paint colors. What does my higher self have me doing? Picking paint colors. It doesn't have to make sense. Amanda, I get that fear of choosing the right surgeon. There's a lot of that for us, right? We're going to help you with that fear of choosing the wrong surgeon and that fear of choosing wrong and having a bad outcome. There's a lot of past life pictures there. We're going to move more of those for you. Transforming more of that. And you can just keep trusting that you cannot get it wrong, because you truly can't. You truly can't get it wrong. Jill Garner, I love that you say that one. The fear of getting it wrong and being blamed for it. Oh my God, that's such a good one. I have so much of that. Such a good one. So here's what the book says on page 29. You may say yes now to what you can manage and what you can hold, and move to a receptive state where you are supported in recognition of what you can maintain at this level of tone and vibration. Let's take the fear that shows up. You go, wait, I've got this fear. It doesn't matter what the fear is, okay? Fear is fear, and fear is designed to replicate itself over and over and over again. That's what fear does. Fear just keeps replicating itself. If you start paying attention, like bringing some consciousness to a thought you have about fear, you can start to watch your brain go round and round and round. And Amanda, I'm going to sort of use you as an example, picking a doctor for whatever. You might be just picking a doctor for your primary care physician. Well, what if I choose this one? Well, if I choose that one, well, that one has this and that, and they live here and they practice this, and you start doing that, and then you're like, oh, but maybe I should pick this other one, because this other one, practices this and is more convenient and takes my insurance, and you have all this chatter in your head, and you just keep spinning on that hamster wheel, right? And so you have to say, like, I am in my knowing, I am in my knowing, I am in my knowing. And trust that whatever decision you make, Dr. A, Dr. B. I'm going to say yes to this idea, or I'm going to say no to this idea. Whatever it is, there's a trust that you bring to the conversation. Trust is a frequency. You bring trust to the conversation and go, I am going to trust that whatever decision I make, it is the perfect decision, and then I'm going to move forward. And the moment that you step off of that hamster wheel, everything starts to fall into place. Everything starts to work out. And then you go, wow, that was so easy. And it doesn't matter how long you have been having the conversation. It doesn't matter whether it's something that you've been, considering for years or something you've only been working on for a short period of time. The moment you ask for more clarity and more trust and some more high frequencies, you just, there it goes. There it is. So there is a claim of truth on page 32. Jump over to page 32. I am word through my body, word, I am word. I am word through my vibration, word, I am word. I am word through my knowing myself as word, word, I am word. Word is the action of the Creator. We are all word. And the moment you start to bring that in, it's like, oh, okay, I'm enough as I am. I've got exactly what I need. And I just make a choice and step forward. Now, they're literally talking about it's simply a choice. We are just making choices. Back over to page 29. To maintain the level of tone that is the upper room is less a challenge than a choice. It is a choice to say yes to what exists in the high octave and comprehend that you have learned through the old, made choices, had requirements there, but your learning is now progressing at a higher level of strata, and your experience must reflect the choice that has been made. Each and every one of you are operating from a higher frequency, from a higher level of choice than you ever have before. All of the decisions that you've made in the past, all of them, the ones that you made 5 minutes ago, are being transformed to a higher frequency, to a higher choice, and you now have the ability to trust how it shows up. That's part of what's happening. Did I lose everybody? We are every day transforming what is old. The worst thing that you ever did in your life, the worst thing that you ever did in your life, let's call it forgiven. It's forgiven. Done. It is no longer the worst thing that you ever did. What it is an experience you had to know that isn't what you want to do now. And then you move on and you go, oh, there's more freedom in that. How about that? The ideas that we have that were not enough, that we've made a poor decision in the past and we have no ability to make a great decision now, that's all being transformed. That idea that you are unworthy, that you can't be happy, that you're never going to reach your potential, is just poof. It's absolutely true. But your fear will be da 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 da. Wait, there's that fear again. Look at that. Look at that wheel. Everybody take a look at where is your hamster wheel? Where is your hamster wheel? Where is the place that you go round and round and round in the conversation? I have had a weekend of being on a hamster wheel. If being on a hamster wheel could count as burning calories, I would be so on it, man. The calories would be flying off of me. Cricket, your brainstem, awesome. Jill, your frontal lobe, fabulous. I was going to say, I see a lot of sternums. I see throats. Somebody has it in their right foot and somebody has it in their left arch of their foot. It is perfect. Wherever it is, we're going to transform it. Terry, your frontal lobe and your throat. It's fabulous. Going to move more of that. Because we want to spend a little time in the upper room, not just here in the circle, but we want to spend time in the upper room every day. So how do we do that? Let's be real practical. How do you do that? Every day you sit and you go, let's see, where is it that I have some fear that I'm ready to let go of? Wow, it's so interesting. I have some fear. Where? I have some fear in my sternum that I'm never going to be truly happy in love. That's me. That's me. I have fear in my sternum that I'm truly never going to be happy in love. Does that make sense? Probably for most of you, you would be like, really? How could you have that? You've been married for decades. You know, your husband is a nice guy. I get told that all the time. My husband is a nice guy. He absolutely is a nice guy. But fear is fear. It doesn't have to be reasonable. It doesn't have to make sense. Absolutely no sense whatsoever. Jill, happy to help you with that. Absolutely as well. Now, if I had been married 4 times and, I had been abused in one of those relationships, whatever you want to add to that, you'd be like, oh, that makes total sense. Okay. But fear is fear. It doesn't make sense. All we want to do is transform more of it. So you, each and every one of you, have the ability to just say, wow, I have so much fear right here in my sternum, third eye, frontal lobe, throat, left hip, right leg, left foot. I'm pointing to all different places. As I say left, I'm picking up my right. I have so much fear and I just want to move some more of it. You literally get to do that. Now, do you have to do it in a certain way? No, you just say, I'm done with that. Can you pick up the book and put it on your sternum? Absolutely. Can you just say, yo, whoever is out there, can I have some more help with whatever this fear is? If you want to, you can text me. I'm happy to help with that. That's most of what they're talking about on page 30 and on page 31. Trusting your higher self. Trusting yourself. You are your higher self. Every time they say divine self, they're talking about you. Every time they say true self, they're talking about you. You are your higher self, your true self, your monad, your divine self. I actually started a list somewhere of all the different ways that they talk about it. Still talking about you. You have that ability. So, you know what I love? I love when Paul, in the book, they say things like this. We will explain something for Paul. Where's the other one? There's another one in here. Paul is asking what exactly we mean. I love that. Because see, he's normal, we're normal. What exactly are they talking about? Okay, I have to tell you one of my favorite lines in the 3 days that we have covered so far is God expresses as God through all of its creations. God expresses as God through all of its creations. One of my favorites. You know why? Because we get to be reminded that everything is of God. Everything. My phone is of God. My water bottle is of God. You know, the acne that I have on my skin, yep, that's of God. And we get to remember that all of the yucky stuff, all of the beautiful stuff, all of the good, all of the bad, all of the fear, all of the joy, it's all of God, and we are just having an experience with it. None of it is absolutely true. Okay, I'm getting a ding, 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 ding. We're going to play a little bit because there is a lot for us to do tonight, and I am so excited about this. So, in the healing world, there is a thing called a fractal design. And what a fractal is, from an energetic perspective, is a 12D design. So, you know, my book is three-dimensional, and pop-up books are sometimes more than 3 dimensions. And so a fractal is a 12-dimensional design that I have created with my healing team, a fractal design for tonight, for us to play in. Now, if you have never played in a landscape, like if you have never experienced playing in a landscape, an energetic landscape, a fractal design is like just something to play with. We're just going to go, let's go on a field trip. We're just going to play and have fun. I am giving you all a key, and the key is going to go wherever you want. And your key can look like anything you want. You can have a very logical key, like that starts a car. If you're kind of old-fashioned, you might have a key that looks like a skeleton key. You might have a key that looks like a fob. You might have a key that doesn't look anything like any key you have ever seen before. But you all are being gifted with a key, and this key is giving you access to this fractal design. Go ahead and take a look at your key. So my key looks actually something a little bit like this. So I think this is I actually found it in my pencil bag. I think it's like a USB-C and a USB connector. But this is sort of like what my key looks like. And my key is actually, it's not gray. My key is gold, and my key has a lot of blues in it as well. So I am going to take my key and I am going to put it in my throat. About half an hour before I started the circle tonight, I had this like lump in my throat. And I was like, oh, that's really pretty. That's not going to be really easy to talk through. And I was just like this. This is literally what I was doing. I was like, okay, let's move that. Let's move that. And I'm going to tell you honestly, I just burped a huge burp. I'm home by myself. And so I'm really glad because I didn't have to say excuse me or anything like that. And the energy moved. A lot of times you will have that happen. You know, you might find yourself burping a lot. That's energy moving. Go ahead, try that with somebody you know. You belch really loudly and then go, oh, no, it's just energy moving. But I'm putting my key in my throat. And as soon as I put my key in, I have this fractal design that opens up for me. And the design is like you're in a forest. Now, you can be in any kind of forest you want. Your higher self, you, are going to get the information as it works for you. You might be like, oh my gosh, I am in a tropical forest and the leaves are huge. I see palm trees. You might be like, oh no, that is not my forest. My forest is lush and green and it looks very crystalline, and the leaves are more like what grow in the northeast of the United States. There's even some that are like different colors. It is perfect however it shows up for you. This is a practice and you just go in, okay, I'm going to pretend that this is how it is. And when you have an awareness, you just go, okay, so I'm going to go with that. So Amanda, I love that you say your key looks like an old-fashioned brown leather boot without laces. Awesome. See, perfect example. Your key does not have to look at all like a key. And you get to decide where you're going to put that. And Jill, you have a gold, sparkly, old-fashioned looking key with a heart on the end of it. It's so cute. So cute. And Tom, I love your blinged out skeleton key. You can put those keys wherever you want. For those of you who have never done this with me before, these gifts are energetic gifts and they are given to you forever and ever. Amen. Now, what that means is you will have this gift in you. When you leave this incarnation, it goes back in your soul personality memory bank, and it is there for you when you incarnate in a body again. Now, you might not necessarily incarnate in a body that looks like these, but wherever you go, that key will be there, as well as all of the other gifts that you ever gather with me in a healing circle or an event that you attend. Some of my friends do events like Care Torres does Noah and does gratitude ceremony. All of those gifts are given in perpetuity, forever and ever and ever. So Amanda, you're putting your key in your sternum. Awesome. And Tom's putting his key in his left ear. His left ear, why would he do that? Because that's his information. It's perfect. And for a long time, I was like, oh my God, did I get it wrong? Like everybody else is putting it in their sternum. Maybe I shouldn't put it in my left ear. Let me just trust where my hands go or what my information is. Every time you trust, you're building that muscle to be able to make more choices, more opportunities for healing, right? So fabulous. So fabulous. So Jill's putting hers in her sternum. She opened a big double gate with it. Yes, that's fabulous. Kate's putting hers in her right side, lower back jaw and surrounding area. That's a fabulous place. I have a lot of stuff going on in my jaw and it just sometimes makes me nutty. But that isn't where my higher self told me to put my key. Told me to put my key in my throat. At least I think that's what I said, if I'm being honest. Janet, skeleton key with a double heart, placing it in your heart. Perfect. Terry, key is a triangle puzzle piece that goes in my throat. Yep, it's fabulous. Fabulous. And once you put your key in, feel free to start to play. Here you are in a forest, a crystalline forest, trees. You may, because it's St. Patrick's Day, there are a lot of four-leaf clovers. You may find other things in this design. Feel free to just start wandering around or asking yourself questions. You can ask yourself questions like, what do the leaves look like on the trees? Now I can see some of you are like, have these big, huge, like banana leaves, and others of you have these little tiny leaves, that there's a whole bunch of leaves on one branch. Regardless of what your leaves look like, you can take those leaves and put them wherever you want to put them. If you're like, oh my God, I have had the most wicked headache for 3 days, put it there. You will see, you will experience a moment of, oh God, that's nice. Now, after you experience that, you may experience oh my God, now it's even more intense. Put it in the chat so I know that that's your experience and I can help you with that, because there's always more things going on. Sometimes when I put things in my forehead because I have a wicked ass headache, I'm like, oh my God, it hurts even more. And then I have to wait a couple minutes for my body to adjust to the gift that I put in there. It always does. It always adjusts, but I don't always trust it right away. So, Amanda, I love that you're in the redwood forest or in a redwoods forest. Fabulous. Perfect. Somebody is on like a beach. How freaking cool is that? Like their forest is a whole bunch of palm trees. I don't know if palm trees can actually be a forest, but I'm not questioning it. Go for it. Oh, I love that. Golden pine needles all over the ground. Fabulous. You can pick up those pine needles and you can put them in your body. You can stand on those pine needles and, stomp around, and all of those crystals are going to go right up through your feet. There's a lot of things you can do here. There are swings and hammocks and hassocks and seats of lots of different kinds. You can tune into that. Where is there a seat where I can just sit and be in the energy of this fractal design? Janet, I love that. The botanical garden. Fabulous. I am originally from the DC area, and there's a botanical garden right as you come into DC, off of New York Avenue. Absolutely beautiful, but there's botanical gardens everywhere. And it doesn't have to be a specific place, right? It doesn't have to be the botanical gardens. You can just be like, oh my God, look at all the flowers that are here. Fabulous. Love, Amanda, that you're putting the needles in your sinuses, your thyroid, your throat, third eye. I actually am picking up a couple pine cones because I just got the ding for my eyes, one for my left eye and one for my right eye. Can I feel really silly about doing that? Absolutely. Absolutely. There was a long time that I was like, watch me take the pine cone and put it in my eye. Does it look like I'm putting a pine cone in? It's okay. Play. Have fun with it. Jill, I love that. Snow White's backyard. If you didn't know this about me, for the longest time, I got information based on Disney. All my information had kind of a Disney reference. I was sitting in class one day and Cara Torres was teaching class. We actually took class in person, and she was busy talking about beings and what beings looked like, and all I could see were the eels from Little Mermaid. And I was like, excuse me, I'm seeing Flotsam and Jetsam. And she looked at me and goes, what is that? And I'm like, they're the eels from Little Mermaid. And she's like, okay. So I love that you do Snow White's backyard. It is fabulous. You may come across some beings. You might come across a unicorn. You might come across, chipmunks or squirrels or, other kinds, birds and butterflies and things like that. Totally fabulous, totally okay. You might have something really random show up. I just literally saw what looks like Amanda's other boot. So Amanda had a boot as a key, and I just saw a boot just sitting on the floor, the forest floor. It's fabulous. Whatever, however it shows up. Anybody find any shamrocks? Lots of gifts coming in for all of us. I see a lot of apple flower petals. You might see them as other things too. And I love that, Amanda, that you were just like, oh, apple blossom petals falling down. They are apple blossom petals, there are cherry blossom petals, there are orange blossom petals. It's fabulous. All of these things are coming down, and whether you are, sitting there eating dinner and watching me making dinner, maybe you're busy helping kids with homework, maybe you're not doing any of those things, but you are being gifted with all of these things as your higher self gathers them. That's the really cool thing. You don't have to do it. You will come to a point where you're like, let me gather. And I want you to take just a moment to notice that fear that you had. I say had because you have less of it now than you did 10 minutes ago. Because here you are in a place gathering gifts, high frequencies. You're focused on the high frequencies. I haven't heard any of you say to me, oh my God, I see something really awful. This is really scary. This is a little disturbing. Because it's a high frequency fractal design, and it doesn't exist with fear and pain and anger and unworthiness and all those other things. Yes, Zoya, let's keep transforming more of that pain. Let's definitely transform more pain. I say all the time that if if somebody kidnaps me and starts to create pain for me, doing things, I don't know, ripping off my fingernails or something like that, I'm giving up every secret under the sun. Every secret I know under the sun. Because I do not want to experience pain. Pain is no fun in any way, shape, or form. So let's move more of that for all of us. Terry, we're going to go ahead and move that hood. There's a valence. Valence is a covering. I often see valences like sheets over furniture, right? So we're going to go ahead and move that. More valences. And we're going to help you with that congestion. Now see, Terry, thank you for sharing. That's a great example. Like Terry was fine, 5 minutes ago, and then all of a sudden she started noticing all of these symptoms. It's created from the resistance and the valence that is over her, so that she knows as a personality, wow, there is something here to move. This is not fun. Let's get to work. Yeah. Moving balances for everybody. We take the high frequencies that are in the fractal design, and we use them in the body to take the body up in frequency and transform those low frequencies. Transform valences, transform fear, transform pain. However it shows up, that's what we do. They actually use the term entrainment in the book, just in case you think I wasn't paying attention. Page 31, down towards the bottom, it says, each of you who speaks the attunements will be accompanied by us as we speak them with you. We are seeking to bring you into entrainment with the level of tone that we occupy. If you understand this, we are supporting you in elevating and responding in an elevated state to the attunements that are for your benefit. Entrainment is you are sitting here at this frequency, whatever frequency it is. You take a higher frequency and you put it over top of it, and it alchemizes, dissolves the lower frequency. It is a science term. It's not a lot of woo-woo. It's actually what happens. And so that is what happens, but this happens from an energetic perspective. So we really have to keep training ourselves to be okay with, like, I don't have to see it to know that it's happening. Tom, woohoo! Seeing that thick green moss. That is awesome. That moss is available for you to roll in, to pick up, to squish your feet in. It's very high frequency there. There's a lot of greens in this fractal design. There is divinity frequency, that is emerald green. There is creativity, that's like a green. There is magic in this fractal design. That's like, I call it Tinkerbell green, magic. Magic helps work on the atheist energy, the doubt that we have. That energy is it real? There is abundance here. You just keep gathering off the leaves, whatever kind of leaves you are gathering. There are all these frequencies. Abundance is a frequency. It's a high frequency. And you can ask for more abundance anytime you want. You just keep trusting how that shows up. I have an awareness of the sky being the bright blue, that electric blue sky. It is the forgiveness frequency, doing a lot of moving of those ideas that we're not enough, that we made mistakes, that we screwed up somehow. None of that is true. And we are helping to transform that as well. Janet, I love that red rose petal pond. That pond that you see is filled with lots of that rose pink quartz. Rose pink quartz is that love frequency. It's what we're all created from. We're all created from rose pink quartz. It's been tainted and covered up, and it's sometimes hard to see, but that is absolutely the truth. We are created from that. So you can keep checking in. It's the words I use, checking in with your higher self and asking what there is to see. Different gifts, different perspectives for everyone. As you can see, people notice different things. You do not have to see the same things that I do. I have been sitting on a hammock and swinging back and forth on the hammock. The hammock was green divinity frequency, a reminder that I am divine. I am divine, and so is everyone else. Really a great principle for us to understand more of. We are divine just like everyone else. Amanda, I love that. The sky is a nighttime indigo blue with starlight and bioluminescence insects flying around. Yeah, indigo blue. Fabulous. Lots of gratitude, gratitude, gratitude in this fractal design as well. You can gather those insects. The lights are like little sparkles, little crystals, and you can gather those up too. Put some in my pituitary gland, put some in my brainstem. It's fabulous, totally fabulous. It is an awesome thing to just take a few minutes and allow yourself to just be in a place of possibility. Be in a place that, what if it was this easy to gather gifts? What if it was this easy to transform more fear? What if it was this easy to know that I am one with everyone around me, with Source, in union with everything? It really is. And it might be just for 5 seconds or 5 minutes. But you go, wow, if I can do it for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, I can do it for longer next time. It's that easy. It's that cool. That cool. That cool, that cool, that cool. Gather, gather, gather. Gather, gather, gather. Okay. Whew, I'm warm, warm, warm. All right. You can continue gathering gifts. You can practice this on your own. You know, when you go to bed tonight, take just a couple moments to just be like, I'm going to close my eyes and I want to see the forest. And what do I see? Oh, I see a log. I'm going to sit on the log. Oh, wow. There's a moment of peace. Wow, that was lovely. And maybe that's all it is. And that's enough. Because if you can do it for that amount of time, you can do it again and again and again and again. Janet, I love that. You're walking along the shore, gathering seashells and drawing in the sand. There is so much magic there. There are so many gifts. Always available. Always available. Ooh. So there are stars coming in. There are shamrocks coming in. I see what looks like M&Ms. I used to love green M&Ms. Isn't it funny? Anybody else do that? Like, I only wanted to eat the green M&Ms. They didn't taste any different than any of the other colors, but the green M&Ms. Gifts for all of us. It's fabulous. Totally fabulous. Peach Jolly Ranchers. I love it. You can have every color imaginable. Amanda, you and I could party together. You eat the red M&Ms, I'll eat the green ones. Actually, I'm not very picky anymore. I just remember it as a kid. I don't know what it was. Have to think on that one for a little while. Why was it green? Okay. So, I want to let you know that we are going to be doing this again. There's always more. There's always more. On the 31st of March, we're going to be doing another round of journeying through. We're going to be looking at Chapter 1, Day 4. We're going to do Day 4. I'm actually going to be posting it if you want to know more, but it is page 37, and we're going to go over to the bottom of page 43. 37 to 43. How awesome is that? Kate, we do not want to ask for valences to cover us. That's not what we call them. We do not need to have valences on us in order to be protected. We are always love supported and protected. If you are looking for something because you're going into an area where you don't feel very comfortable, you can ask for roses to be put up for you. You can do electric blue roses. That would be Christ consciousness. You can do red roses. If that works for you, you can just create some roses, ask the roses to protect you. But valences, that's what we did, a long time ago. We were like, oh, we need protection. We're not safe. We need to have these coverings. And now we get to say, oh, we're way more powerful than that. We don't need those low frequencies to protect us. We can bring in high frequencies. We can also trust our higher self that we are always loved, supported, and protected. Roses, though, great way to do that. Thanks for asking. That's an awesome question. Okay, did I get everybody? Everybody feel like they gathered some gifts? If you have any questions, I am always available. You can find me on Facebook, of course, on Journeying Through. That's a Facebook group. You can find me on Instagram. I am having a blast with Instagram, putting a lot of stuff up there. There's going to be so much more stuff coming in the foreseeable future. It's just been a ton of fun. If you are on Instagram, follow me. It's at Bonnie L. Sachs. And there's going to be lots of healing opportunities, and I'll put up the pages and, things like that. But if you ever have any questions, please, please, please feel free to text me. Feel free to Facebook message me or message me through Instagram. I am always available and want to support you always. That is what I'm here to do. So, pages 37 through 43. If you want to get the book, get the book. If you don't want to get the book, put me on your calendar for March 31st so you can come back here and we can do this again in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I am sure we're going to have a new moon. The new moon probably will be right around the time of the healing circle, which is an awesome thing because then we can just heal, all of that stuff. And if you have a friend, if you have a relative, if you have other people who are interested in this kind of healing, these kinds of discussions, send my name along. I'm happy to chat with them and answer any of their questions. Okay. Are we good? We're good. Awesome. Awesome. So last gifts coming in. Everybody has an orb, a pine cone, a nut, a gift of some sort. Mine looks like a walnut, kind of orb-like thing. There's a lot of healing alchemy in this, and I think it's kind of funny because it actually, they say walnuts look like brains, so it actually is for my brain. It's for my cerebrum. So I am going to put it there. You can put yours wherever your higher self suggests, or you can just trust that it goes exactly where it's needed. It's fabulous. We're installing those, activating them. Oh my gosh, I am so happy that each of you joined me tonight. I love that. Lacey is Amanda's bird. She offered her a crystal shamrock and she ate it. It's fabulous. Fabulous. Gifts for all of your pets. Gifts for all of your families. Lots of love and blessings for you and all that you do and all that you are, how you show up in the world. With that, I'm going to seal the field unto the light of that one true source creator God, the one who is responsible for all the magic, all the joy, all the love, all the realization, all of the healing alchemy. I thank my healing team, the support teams, and I thank each and every one of you who show up and go, yes, please. I would like some gifts. I would like to heal more. I want to be a brilliant, bright expression of my higher self. I love that about each and every one of you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for sure. And I look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks. Truly, if you need anything, send me a message. I am happy to help you in any way I can. I hope you have a fabulous week, a most amazing journey through, and I will see you in 2 weeks. With that, we say amen and aho. Lots of love, guys.